This afternoon on Q2, a risky business move. Dunham Sports opens at the Rimrock Mall, but nearly $600,000 in property taxes remain unpaid. Store managers say they're only slightly concerned. Plus, booming business in Billings. A bus tour around Yellowstone County reveals new projects coming to the Magic City, looking to bring an economic boost. And paints portraying pioneer life. We take you to downtown Columbus to see a mural meant to bring vibrancy and excitement to a small community. The MTN 430 News starts right now. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Mack Carmack. We know the Rimrock Mall currently owes unpaid taxes of $582,000. But even with that unknown future, it didn't stop a big sports store from moving their business into the mall. Dunham Sports celebrated its grand opening today regardless of those circumstances. Our Vanessa Willardson asked if this was a risky move.
What's between the mall and the government, that's their issue. We're here to open a store and provide a service for the community. So that's our focus.
We talked with Yellowstone County Treasurer Hank Peters, who crunched some numbers for us. If owners of Rimrock Mall do not pay their taxes by August 2028, someone could step in and get the land and the property for about $3 million. That's a great deal, as the mall is currently valued at $26.8 million. We'll have that full report coming up tonight on the 530 News. Dunham's introduced 50 new employees to the Rimrock Mall. And while that may be good news for Billings, the August job report released today paints a dismal picture of finding employment for the rest of the country. Scripps reporter Stephanie Liebergen reports from Washington.
The monthly jobs report is out, and it paints a pretty dismal picture for the job market across the country. The Bureau of Labor Statistics saying the country added only 22,000 jobs in August. The expectation was 80,000 jobs, and the country really should be adding between 80 and 100,000 jobs every month to keep up with population growth. But this new report also has revisions to June and July. Combined, the revisions show the country added 21,000 fewer jobs than previously reported. Now, big revisions are due in part to the response rate for this government survey. Only about 40% of companies respond, and some of them do send in data late. So revisions are a regular part of the process. So the July and August numbers are still preliminary, but 3 of the last 4 months show the lowest monthly jobs numbers since 2020. In May, the country adding 19,000 jobs. In June, the country losing 13,000 jobs. That's the first negative job growth month since December of 2020. And then in August, this new report saying 22,000 jobs. So the job market certainly is slowing down. Experts say it's a lingering consequence of the interest rate hikes we saw in 2022 and 2023, but it's also an impact of the Trump administration's trade war and their tariff actions. So the Federal Reserve is going to be using this new data to decide whether or not to cut interest rates later this month. The report has hiring numbers, wage numbers, unemployment. All of those are key economic indicators that the Federal Reserve governors are going to use in making their decision. Now, the chair, Jerome Powell, has said that rate cuts were possible in September. The Federal Reserve governors meeting on September 16th and 17th to make a decision on that. Stephanie Liebergen, Scripps News Group, Washington.
You may have noticed that there's a lot of economic change coming to Billings, with the new Signal Peak Ice Arena and Veterinarian School both under construction. A group of business professionals and officials got the chance to take a bus tour Thursday morning to get a first-hand look at all of these changes and the economic boost they bring to Yellowstone County. Our Isabel Sparks followed along.
What's now Blueprints and Beams will soon be the new $37 million proposed College of Veterinary Medicine at Rocky Vista University.
It's an incredible asset for Billings.
Something head architect Dusty Eaton is excited to have a hand in.
This will be the only veterinary school in a 5-state region. So you think about the impact on Montana, and particularly a state that has more animals than people.
Those animals drawing a group with the Big Sky Economic Development, who made this site one stop on their annual Impact Bus Tour.
Every fall we do a bus tour These are projects that we've been involved with in some way, shape, or form.
45 DBA board members, investors, elected officials, and developers hit the road to see current and upcoming progress for Yellowstone County.
It's fun to watch a project go from the early phases where our board is involved and we commit to help fund a project, and then to see it all the way through construction.
And it's not only the vet school, but projects like the new Amazon Fulfillment Center and the limited aviation facility that are already becoming huge economic drivers in a booming market.
That's the beauty about the organic growth of Billings. We don't do it with a lot of fanfare, we just do it. The city of Billings produces $11 billion worth of GDP out of a $57 billion state economy. And Yellowstone creates another $10 billion.
Executive Director Paul Green estimates the Economic Development Group is currently involved with $1.5 billion of construction projects, even during a time with rising costs on materials.
We can do things like coordinate supply chain solutions because we are the manufacturing center for the state.
A bottom line that is looking positive for the largest economy in the state.
These are projects that are extremely impactful to our growth as a community. They are an investment in both physical infrastructure, but long-term infrastructure in terms of people, right? And bringing people to this community.
In Billings, Isabel Sparts, MTN News.
Workers at Boise Cascade and Billings voted today to possibly end their strike. At this hour, we're still waiting for the results. 18 employees have been on strike for just over 6 weeks. They're asking for higher wages to help compete with the cost of living increases. It's been a long and sometimes exhausting fight with employees on the picket line 24 hours a day, standing in the hot weather and taking 6-hour shifts. We'll update you with results as soon as they come through.
And good Friday afternoon, everyone. It's certainly nice to have more sunshine than smoke in the sky over our parts of Montana and Wyoming. We had some clouds right along the border with North Dakota this afternoon, but overall a lot more beautiful sky to look at today. It was a chilly start this morning in eastern Montana, dropped down to many places in the 30s. How about for the Magic City? Well, it was a cooler than average day, had a low this morning of 49 and a high of only 69 degrees, 10 degrees below average, and today is also the first day of the season where our average high is below 80 degrees. So starting to feel a little bit more like fall outside. Speaking of which, it really will tomorrow morning. It's going to be even cooler with a mostly clear sky, but more sunshine is coming. Your forecast coming up.
Now to a scam aimed at stealing your money. The Carbon County Sheriff's Office says someone is sending out text messages regarding the Powerball lottery. According to the Sheriff's Office, these scam texts say you are one of 5 winners chosen at random and will receive a sum of $100,000. The text then asks you to contact someone via phone or text. The sheriff says do not respond to the text, do not give out any personal information, and they add if you get a call or text involving a lottery, ignore it and contact the Carbon County Sheriff or your local sheriff and let them know. Witches and pumpkins are already on store shelves as shoppers gear up for Halloween. But the upcoming holiday season is going to be more expensive this year, thanks in parts to tariffs on imported goods. Scripps News consumer reporter John Matarese has tips on how you can still celebrate without breaking the bank.
If you're a fan of decorating your house for Halloween, beware. The spookiest thing this year may not be the witches and skeletons, but rather the price tag because of new tariffs on Chinese products. But the good news is there are still plenty of affordable options.
Here at Home Depot, the ogres are out. Chucky has a new friend.
Last year we had Chucky, and this year we've added his bride.
And Skelly, who started the giant creature craze, is bigger and better.
Skelly is back. He's over here standing tall at 12 feet tall.
But Home Depot's Katie Eliason admits some of these animatronics have gotten costly. Lifelike Chucky is $229, while Skelly with new LED eyes is $299. Stephanie Carls with Retail Me Not says retailers stocked shelves with Halloween items earlier this year.
Shoppers are making those smart moves before the prices jump or those shelves thin out.
She says that tariffs have had a big impact on the retail market for holiday items.
Over 85% of Halloween products are made in China.
And shoppers should expect to pay double on some Halloween items compared to last year.
A $19 kids costume last year could be around $39 in 2025.
In addition to shopping early, she says stack your savings, combining sale prices with promo codes and cashback deals. The good news, at Home Depot, you can still find traditional inflatables for under $40, while Bill and Sue Fields are rushing to beat the next round of price hikes.
We got the Grim Reaper and we got some gravestones.
And that way you don't waste your money. John Matteries, Scripps News Group.
So to come on the MTN 4:30 News on Q2, artwork that will stop you in your tracks. We'll show you where to find this and introduce you to the artist. But first, a couple of cool mornings and comfortable afternoons to look forward to. Jason Stiff has the full 7-day forecast right after this.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with meteorologist Jason Stiff.
And good Friday afternoon, everyone. Taking a live look outside on our Shopman Bank camera. It's certainly a lot easier to see further in the distance today compared to yesterday. Lots of sunshine, still some haze. Taking a live look out at Metro Park. Temperatures very comfortable, certainly well below average. We had the high today of 69. Right now, a mild 68 degrees. The wind now not out of the north. It's out of the east at 8 miles an hour. But speaking of the east, it's still a lot cooler in eastern Montana, especially western North Dakota. Williston with more clouds. It's only 56 right now, 61 degrees in Baker, but it is 70 in Livingston, a comfortable 69 degrees in Sheridan, and 66 degrees in Cody. But for many parts of eastern Montana, still a handful of degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago. Starting to warm things up along the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountain front. And for most of us, the wind is also beginning to behave. We have some breezes coming out of the northwest of Miles City at 14 miles an hour and straight out of the north, gusting up to 22 miles an hour in Glendive. Now, for our part of the world, the air quality is certainly improving. Not so for western Montana, western Wyoming as well. We have good air quality here. Moderate air quality the further west you go, and unfortunately we're not done with the haze and smoke, but it will be worse the further west you go. We're gonna have more of that smoke coming in from British Columbia as well as Washington and Idaho, so we're gonna have more of that marching eastward as we get through the course of the day on Saturday, but it will not look like the sky did on Thursday. We'll have a mixture of sunshine as well as some haze. Now, as far as the air quality alerts out for western Montana through at least Monday morning, for northwestern parts of Wyoming until at least Sunday afternoon. But look at this, freeze warnings and frost advisories for the western Dakotas. Now, not for eastern Montana, but it will be in the mid to upper 30s. Some local frost will be a possibility. We do expect a mostly sunny sky on Saturday. Increasing clouds, though, late Sunday into Monday as a large trough of low pressure begins to approach the Intermountain West from the Pacific Northwest. So it's going to give us a slight chance for showers on Sunday, not too likely on Monday. Better chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms, though, for Tuesday, especially Wednesday and Thursday, and to a lesser extent next Friday. But although we have a lot of green on the map, there's not a lot of rain in our actual forecast. We can see that with our 7-day precipitation totals. Much of eastern Montana will have a chance for some rain, but we don't have a great chance for a lot of rain. Generally between about a 5/100 of an inch and 1/3 of an inch, but many places will get far less than that. Then we have our all-important football games. First of all, in Missoula, it's going to be a smoky sky, but a warm day. Expecting a high tomorrow of 88 degrees, and by kickoff at 6 p.m., it's going to be 85. Then we head to Bozeman, also a 6 p.m. kickoff, and it's going to be a little bit cooler. We're not going to have quite as much smoke, but they'll have some haze and smoke in the air, partly cloudy, and 80 degrees by kickoff. So for us tonight, we'll have a mostly clear sky, still hazy here and there. Lows a little bit cool for early September, upper 30s and lower to mid 40s. Tomorrow looking beautiful. We'll have a mostly sunny sky. There will be some areas of haze and smoke, but it's going to be worse the further west you go. Highs in the seasonable range. How about 70s and lower 80s? And the next 7 days for Billings, we're going to have a warming trend through Monday. Only a slight chance for showers and storms Sunday. It will be more likely by Thursday.
Thanks, Jason. Now we've got something beautiful to show you. A new mural was unveiled that will take you back to the early 1900s and hopefully bring some vibrancy and excitement to the Stillwater County community. Our David J. brings you this artistic story.
The cattle and the cowboy moving them into town, and the rush of the stagecoach and the riders on the stagecoach with the horses.
Artist Riley Zembrennan created this masterpiece. She made a digital picture from an old photo, projected it onto the wall, sketched the scene, and then painted, finishing in 16 days.
Some of the older people that are here that have stopped by, and they tell me stories about when they were younger and just things that they remember.
Pike Avenue is right down over there, and then on the side of this building, this is where the mural is, depicting some of the history on one of the main streets through Columbus.
This was the place where a lot of people came and got supplies and came through and traveled to their homesteads and probably brought their cattle or whatever when they were moving to the homestead.
Penny Redley is the executive director of the Museum of the Beartooths and says the painting depicts the challenging life of coming to the town, originally called Sheep Dip.
Eagle's Nest was an early one, and then Sheep Dip. They used to run the sheep through a dip for parasites and that kind of stuff. And then it was Stillwater.
The painting is expected to be a big draw, bringing tourists and art lovers to Columbus and hopefully an economic boost for the town.
It's great to bring it alive in a town like this, and it gets people talking, and it lets the older generation talk to the younger about this is what was going on when my great-grandparents were living here.
Myrna Lestuski is project manager for Beartooth Resource Conservation and Development, which is leading the effort on a series of projects called Recharge Our Community's Economy.
It makes people happy to see, beautiful artwork on the side of a building. And what Riley does is phenomenal.
It's great to see all these people so excited. It just gives me so much energy and positivity to keep doing what I love.
New art that has already become the talk of the town. In Columbus, David J., MTN News.
You can see more of Riley Zembrennan's other work here in Billings. She is a painting of a buffalo on the side of Jake's downtown. In sports, football fans are gearing up for another Big Sky season, with both the University of Montana Grizzlies and Montana State Bobcats having high expectations heading into the new year. We'll have all that coverage right here starting tomorrow, with both teams kicking off at home. And if you're looking for where to watch, the Cats play host to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits right here on Q2. That game is set to begin at 6 p.m. As for the Grizz, they are also at home against the Central Washington Wildcats. That game is on our station at the Spot MTN, which is Channel 2-2 over the air and Channel 11 on Spectrum. That kickoff also slated for 6 o'clock. And remember, we'll have halftime and post-game coverage tomorrow for both shows as well. When we come back, we'll have a look at what we're working on for our 5:30 newscast. Stay tuned. Fermented peaches turned a dumpster into a danger for a couple of young raccoons. They actually got drunk on the fruit and one needed CPR. Scripps reporter Megan Mannering tells us how a nurse was in the right place at the right time for these critters.
Just when Misty Combs thought she'd seen it all in her 21 years of nursing.
Oh, it's baby stuck is why.
A dumpster diving drunk turned up at the health department.
So our health department is right beside of Kentucky Miss Moonshine, which is a distillery. And they had put some fermented peaches in their dumpster. And I guess the two baby raccoons had got into the dumpster and they were stuck.
Drunk as a skunk, try tipsy as a trash panda.
I went over there and I was like, we have to get them out. And I mean, because I guess that was just like the motherly instinct in me. Like I seen that mama and she was trying so hard to get her babies back, but she didn't know what to do.
Combs grabbed a shovel and scooped out the first raccoon, reuniting it with its mom. But the second one was in deep moonshine. Without hesitation, she grabbed him by the tail and laid him down.
Everybody that was around was like, it's dead. I mean, it's just not going to make it. And it was not breathing, and it had drowned, and it was full of water. Like, you could feel the water in it. So, I mean, immediately I just started doing CPR on it.
Suddenly, a sign of life.
Come on! Come on, baby! Come on! The entire time I was doing it, I was sort of afraid that it would come to and eat me up. And, you know, raccoons carry rabies, so I was afraid of that.
Fish and Wildlife responded before the town drunk turned into a mean drunk. They transported the little guy to get sobered up at the local vet.
Did you just go back to work after that and get back to a normal day on the job?
I sure did.
When Otis Campbell, named for the infamous Andy Griffith Show character, of course, made his return to the health department, Combs had the honor of reuniting him with his family.
Goodbye, Otis. I was tickled to death that it was able to join its mom again.
We all have those days where maybe we need a little moonshine, and it's going to happen from time to time. And that's okay, too.
Yeah, that poor little raccoon. I hope it stays out of the dumpster.
Here's what we're working on for tonight's 5:30 news. An in-depth look at Dunham Sports at the Rip Rock Mall in Billings for its grand opening. Our Vanessa Willerton has the full report coming up. And the wait is over. A preview looking at tomorrow night's first at-home game for the University of Montana Grizzlies and Montana State Bobcats. All that and more is coming up in half an hour. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. We are back with more news at 5:30.
Get him.